The detectors used in gas chromatography are flame ionization detector, electron capture detector, thermal conductivity detector, argon ionization detector. First one, flame ionization detector. It is mainly works based on the measurement of electrical conductivity. The commonly used carrier gas is hydrogen. In this flame ionization detector, cathode and anode will be there. The cathode is nothing but a burner or a flame. It is made up of a platinum. Above the cathode, one silver gauge wire is present. It is act as anode. And here we are having inlet for air and fuel and the inlet for column effluents. When purer gas is alone passed through the flame ionization detector, so when the purer gas reaches to the flame, no ionization will be happen because it is chemically inert, so no current will be generated. So when along with the carrier gas, analyte which is from the column passing through the burner, so because of analyte, the flame energy or thermal energy present in the flame causes the ionization of the analyte and produce the electrons. The electrons produced is attracted by the anode and produce the current. So here more number of ions produced when the more amount of analyte reach to the flame and more amount of current is generated. So the magnitude of current that is generated proportional to number of ions produced at the flame. The advantages of flame ionization detector is highly sensitive, no background noise, stable, linear, respond to most of the organic compounds. Electron capture detector. So the name reveals that it will be capture the electrons. A beta emitter which is having a radioactive tritium or nickel 63 act as a cathode. So it will be causes the ionization of the carrier gas and it is having exactly opposite to the cathode, the anode will be present. So whatever the electrons produced by the ionization of carrier gas with the radioactive material will attracted by the anode. So when only alone the carrier gas is passing through this detector, the fast beta particles generated by the radioactive sources collide with the our molecules of carrier gas leads to ionization of the carrier gas and produce the electrons. The whatever the electrons are produced, they are slowly moving towards the anode with a steady line. So that's why a continuous steady current is produced. When along with the carrier gas, analyte will be reaching towards the cathode, whatever the electrons produced by the carrier gas are attracted by the analyte. The most commonly the analytes which causes this type of phenomena is electronegative atoms like halogens, phosphorus, nitro groups. They will be capture the electrons and it will be interfere the a steady flow of electrons towards the anode. That's why there is a decrease in the current production. The more number of analytes passing through the detector, that time more amount of ions or electrons are attracted by the analytes. That's why current will be reduced. So here the current reduction represents the increasing the amount of analyte or concentration of the analyte. So in comparison to the electron flame ionization detector, the electron capture detector is 1000 times more sensitive. So in this way, the electronegative atoms they will capture and they will be interfere with the flow of electrons and current. So that's why we are calling it as electron capture detector. Thermal conductivity detector. This thermal conductivity detector is also called as catharometer. It is a one type of universal detector. It is measures the bulk property. So that's why we are calling it as bulk property detector. This detector mainly measures the change in the thermal conductivity or temperature of the column effluents and compare it to a reference flow of carrier gas. Nothing but the difference in the temperature difference between the carrier gas and the analyte will be measured by using this thermal conductivity detector. This thermal conductivity detector works mainly based on Wheatstone bridge. In Wheatstone bridge, 4 resistors are there. For these 4 resistors, they are having certain similar resistance here. So here the carrier gas we are using in generally hydrogen and helium. So in these 4 resistors, a constant resistance is produced by the R1 and R2, and this R3 resistor is exposed to the column effluent or eluents, and the R4 resistor is exposed to the reference stream of carrier gas. Initially, only the carrier gas is passing through the column. That's why at the R3 the carrier gas is present, and at R4 also the carrier gas is present. So similar. So that's why there is no change in the thermal conductivity of these resistors, and there is no change in the resistance. When we have injected the sample is passing through the column, and when it will be entered into the detector at the R3 resistor, that time because of this analytes, the resistor's resistance will be changes, and the thermal conductivity or temperature generated by this resistance will be changes. That time there is a thermal conductivity difference will be, or temperature difference will be happen between the R3 and R4 resistor, which will be measured by this thermal conductivity detector. Argon ionization detector. So as the name suggests, argon ionization detector, the argon is undergo ionization. In this detector, the commonly used carrier gas is argon. So when this carrier gas is entered to the detector, in this detector the radioactive energy materials will be present. They will be produce the alpha, beta, gamma rays. The source for alpha and gamma rays are radium D, and the source for beta rays are strontium and tritium. So when this radioactive energy from the beta or gamma or alpha particles, they will be eradicated with our carrier organic gas and causes the ionization of the argon to metastable ions. The produced metastable ions, they are reactor collide with the column effluent, nothing but analyte, and causes the ionization of the analyte. That time the electrons are produced. Because of these electrons, the current is induced. So if the more number of ions are produced, means more amount of analyte is reached to the detector, more amount of current is generated. The advantages of this detector is respond to most of the organic compounds, and sensitivity is high. The disadvantages of this detector is poor linearity, and response is not absolute, and it will be respond in various manners with the different temperatures of the detector. So up to now, the detectors will be detect the analyte and preserve the information in the electrical signals. Now these electrical signals will be converted or integrated into human readable form by using a recorder and integrating devices by using a microcomputers which is having the softwares. So they will be converted integrated into a chromatogram. In this chromatogram, we will measure the retention time of the peak and peak area of the peak and peak height of the peak. So here the retention time represents the identification or qualitative analysis of the compound, and The peak area represents the or area under the curve represents the quantitative analysis of the compound. So in chromatogram, we are retention time represented on x-axis. The peak area or area under the curve is represented on the y-axis. So next, what is retention time? It is the time taken for the appearance of the peak maxima from the point of injection for a certain compound. So when you inject a compound, after some time we are getting a peak maxima or a peak. So that time, the interval time between the injection of the time to appearance of the peak is called as peak retention time. At this retention time, the 50% of the compound to be eluted from the column, and we are measuring in seconds and minutes. Retention volume. The retention volume is nothing but the volume of mobile phase required to get a or appearance of the peak maxima is called as retention volume. The retention volume, it is the magnitude of retention time with the flow rate. So in this way we are determining the volatile compounds in the form of a retention time and peak area used for determination and quantification of the compounds in the GC. So this is the information regarding the detectors and the recorders of the gas chromatography. Please watch our videos for regular updates.